There we go. Perfect. Um, Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line, presented by Offside News. My name's Emma, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
Hello. Um, well, I am not freshly, because I went 2 days ago, to Leafs preseason game.
Mm.
Yum. I mean, yeah, so they were in Ottawa playing the Ottawa Senators, and I attended as someone who lives in Ottawa and is a Leafs fan. How could I not? And I went with Simon, and I went with a couple of friends of his, and then I went with a friend of mine, and it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I will say, the Ottawa Senators, in general, and at least it's noticeable under the new ownership than it was in years previous. I've been going to Ottawa Senators games now I'm in my 4th year of university for 4 years, pretty regularly. So I've seen it switch from I've seen it pre Andlauer ownership and now post Andlauer ownership of going to games and things like that. And they've improved a lot of just the environment of going to the CTC. I mean, you still have to get there, and that's still a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But the vibes inside are pretty cool. They've done some minor renovations just to the main concourse and just opened it up a little bit, added some more food options, things like that, modernized that aspect of it, which is really nice. And then also the graphics have gotten better. I think they've upgraded their in arena sound system because it sounds way better. The music and things like that sound way better than it used to. And just overall improvements, which is nice. I know now they're going to be getting a new arena in the future at some point, but it is nice to still put investment into what they have. I will also say, I think my favorite part, honestly, when I was there was during the intermissions. And if you follow me on Twitter, I did tweet about it because I thought it was really cool. And it's kind of new. I think they've done it for some country nights before in the past, just a couple nights. But it's only a couple nights a year, I think, or one night a year or something when they have a country, a theme night. But they had a live band, live local, they're local to Ottawa. Band perform it was your classic dad rock country, stuff the general average hockey fan or at least average would you would know the songs. I knew all the songs that got played and things like that, and it was fun. They were a really good band. I love it. They played both intermissions. It was a 10-minute set each time, which is good. I liked it. Me and my friends were all jamming out and having a good time, and we liked that because it was something different than just they would do their intermission game where they'd had someone shoot pucks and from various points on the ice or try and catch beach balls being dropped from the rafters with garbage cans on a trolley, things like that, a garbage can on wheels, things like that. And it was that sort of thing. But then and then they would do the music and the live music, and I love that, and I hope that they keep that up for the rest of the season, and they use and they will do it for various bands, local various local bands, and it's a way to spotlight the local music scene and things like that. And also as well, I thought it was cool because it was different than just having a DJ play random music or just or show I think it's called Breakaway, but their version of a Leafs Blueprint kind of thing. So I thought it was cool. It was a little mini concert included. It was fun. I liked it.
Fun.
But yeah, so that was my opinion on going to the game and stuff. So yeah, it was a fun game. I mean, even though the Leafs lost, had a good time. But I guess we can talk about some actual hockey.
Yeah.
You're quiet. You didn't say anything, but yeah, the Leafs took on the Sens in Ottawa and lost 2-1 in regulation. So it was Stolarz and Hildeby in net. They split the game, and I was I'll pay attention and I'll try and catch when they switch off. I didn't notice. for about 6 minutes that they'd switched. In my defense, I was sitting where I was sitting at the side of the side where like the Sens shoot twice. So like I was sitting on like the Leafs side of because that's where I usually sit. I always sit behind like that. Why wouldn't I? I always sit in this spot. But the Leafs, so like I couldn't really like I could see like the far end, but I couldn't really see like who was in net by like numbers. I really should have just been paying attention to the helmets because Stoller's has a like bright chrome and blue helmet that like reflects the arena lights like no other. You can spot his. And also the pads are different colors. I just wasn't paying that much attention. Like I was paying attention. I was watching the goaltending, but like I was like, oh, I didn't realize like Hildeby had gotten.
Yeah.
But the thing is like it's the fact that they both played really well to the point where they switched and I didn't really notice at first.
Yeah.
I just missed the switch because I think I was like looking down at my phone or something or like talking to someone. That I didn't.
These days always on the phones.
People kept asking me for warm-up pictures. I was trying to make sure everyone got their warm-up pictures. Okay, cut me some slack. Cut me some. I was probably texting you to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
But it was like the fact that I didn't notice at first that they had switched off because they were like that consistent. Like the two of them played really, really well, I think.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, Hildeby, like I'm already somewhat familiar with his style, and you can tell like if you watched and you paid attention, you could tell that Hildeby's a little bit more all over the place with his movement. Not like in a bad way, just his movements are bigger.
Yeah.
He also is a bigger goalie than Stoller's, but I will say Stoller's, I was really impressed because he's not a goalie I'm not familiar with. I've maybe watched like a couple of games that he's been in various times against the Leafs. Because he didn't play in the playoffs for Florida. It was Bobrovsky the whole way through.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, right? But he was their backup. And so I knew he was a good goalie from looking at his stats. But I will say, like, I wasn't familiar with like his style in net and things like that. And I will say I was really impressed with like his positioning. Like to the point where I even turned to my friend sitting next to me and I was like, and I said to her, I was like, oh, his positioning's really good in net. And she was like, yeah, it is. Because he was just always like positioning in the way of like if the Senators got a shot off, he usually was in front of it like with his full body.
Yeah.
Right? He knew how to position himself in net so that he didn't have to try and like make a glove save or something. He was like his chest was in the way.
Yeah, he was on it.
Yeah. It was really good. I'm excited to watch him throughout the season too as well. Like was just, I watched him for 15 minutes. But I was really impressed with the 15 minutes that I saw from him. So, and Hildeby, of course, like we know he's going to be starting his season with the Marlies, but it is exciting to watch him grow as a goalie. I mean, I thought, I saw him a year ago in Ottawa as well, and I just remember like he has improved over the year, right? Like I saw him a year ago in Ottawa, same like preseason game, same thing. And like from what I remember from a year ago and what I saw on Tuesday and there was improvement there in how he plays. So
yeah, because it's like I watched him a lot with the Marlies last year, and he's gotten so much better, and I'm so excited to see just how. I just want to see how much he can do. I'm just excited for him. Although I don't know if I'm gonna get my Marlies subscription this year.
no, well, no, because it's so expensive. Like I don't blame you.
Expensive.
That's something we haven't really talked about on the podcast. Was it like AHL TV moving to what is it called?
I can't even remember.
Flow Sports.
Yeah.
Flow Sports.
I took
it's like
one look at the price,
it's ridiculous. Because what were you paying before last year to just watch?
I I think it was $60.
But that's for the full season to watch
Yeah,
every single Marlies
every
game.
single
And
Marlies
you
game.
could share the password.
Yeah, so like you watch
And we
them.
were able to watch games we were able to watch games on the same at the same
Mm,
time on the same on different devices.
yeah,
And they didn't care.
no. And I can't remember how much it is now.
It's
It's
hold on. That's what I'm trying to find out
yeah,
is like the
it's
pricing.
so much more expensive. Cause I was like doing everything I could to like justify like I was sat with my housemates and I was like, I'll watch the games. I could watch every game and it's not like
It's
I
$30 a month.
yeah,
Or you have to pay $150 in one go. So it divides out to $12.50 monthly. But you have to pay the $150 in one sitting.
I'm sorry,
And that's for like 12 months. And so you're not going to be using it.
yeah, I'm like that's the one thing that really annoys me is the fact that they're pricing out so many people who want to watch
Yeah.
because
And it
I'm not
like it
paying $150 to watch
or
the Marlies.
what? Yeah. Yeah. 100 yeah, because it's what it'll be their season starts in October. So it'll be October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Because they play till April, right? So you're paying because they charge you annually, right? So you have to
Yeah,
pay the annual sum in one go. So the savings that you're getting are non-existent
no,
because that monthly rate is calculated over 12 months. It's like, well, if your team doesn't make the playoffs or doesn't go very far in the playoffs, like the Marlies
yeah,
haven't really since
it's
they won the Calder,
no, it's
you're like that's 6 months you're paying for.
like they're
So
pricing people
six
out.
times 30 is 118, right? Yes. I'm so good at math.
Yeah,
$118 or which is still more expensive than the yearly, but you would be like I know there's college sports on there too. Like I don't think you just get access to the Marlies,
mm.
you get
But
access to like everything else that Flow Hockey, like Flow Sports, like broadcast, which I think is a lot of college sports, but like
which like that's
unfortunately like
cool, I guess, but
that's
I
that's
don't
cool if
care.
that's also yeah, that's cool if that's like what you already watch and like what you're already interested in. But
But
like
I just want to watch the
I'm
Marlies.
not I'm not interested in college hockey. I don't live in the States. Like NCAA doesn't really interest me. Like the
No,
only time I really pay attention to it is if like it involves like a Leafs prospect is
mm,
playing there. And like even then I'm not watching full games just to watch
no,
Nick Moldenhauer.
yeah,
I'm looking at
it's
his highlights that get posted online after the games.
mm, yeah, and it's
Like
just
that's the only time like right like that's the only time I
mm,
pay attention to like
yeah.
NCAA teams is if there's like a highly touted like Leafs prospect
It's like
for one of the schools, and even then I'm not watching their full games for one guy.
I'm just really annoyed about it because like
It sucks for even like families of players too.
yeah, because it's like how can you go like such a massive price increase where it's like I'm a student. I'm not gonna drop $150. I cannot drop
Yeah,
$150 because I need to eat.
it's also the same thing too where it's like this is like it's like the HL, so like even if these guys are like and you can't share your like it doesn't allow password sharing. It
Mm,
doesn't like that. Um which is makes it worse. So it's like, but like if you're one of these HL guys who are already not like like hockey wise, because I know yes, they are still making like 6-figure salaries,
mm,
which right, which for like a lot of people is a lot of money.
yeah,
Um, but like in the terms of like being an NHL player, like not being an NHL player, being a hockey player, but like being a professional hockey player, it's not a lot, right?
Yeah.
They are making less than other players do. And to then have to be like, oh, if you want to watch, like, or if you want to watch your son or your husband or your boyfriend or your brother or even just your friend play hockey, because he's playing professional hockey, here's how expensive it is for you to go and like for you to watch it. Where it's probably, honestly, I'd love to, I actually don't know. Hold on. I'd have to actually check how much like season tickets are for like an average AHL team. Hold on. How much are season tickets for the Marlies? I've never looked into this.
But no, I'm not happy about it, like, at all.
Yeah, no.
Because, like, God forbid I want to watch Dennis Hilderby. God forbid I want to watch.
Yeah, like God forbid we want to pay attention to the prospects of our team that we watch and
because
that we talk about.
it's just like, even like some warning would have been, if I'd have known a couple months in advance, like, I might have been able to like put money
Save.
aside so I could pay, and I still wouldn't be happy about it because it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, yeah.
And I just
And yeah, like it's and well, okay, so to because like you can still, if you're in Ontario, like if you're an Ontario resident, you can still watch all of the Marlies home games for free on the like Toronto Maple Leafs app. But like you're not an Ontario resident. And also as well, I can't put that on my TV very easily. Thank you very much.
No, and as well, one thing
I'm not
that
gonna sit there. I'm not gonna sit there with like the Toronto Maple Leafs app open on my phone watching Marlies games.
exactly, it's because what bugs me about it is like I'm already paying monthly so I can watch the Leafs to then like essentially double what I'm paying every month so I can watch the Marlies as well. It's it sucks. And I'm not, it's just that's one thing that's been irritating me. Like, don't just like double what it's gonna cost because people aren't gonna be happy about it. I don't know, I've seen people talk about it on Twitter, like they're not happy about it either. Because it you say right, you say you want to grow the game and then what? Price out a lot of people who want to watch. It's like you're putting people off it, and it's just not fair. Because as well, yeah, I'm just really annoyed about it, and I'm not happy because I wanna watch the Marlies, but just not for $150.
Yeah. And it's really difficult to like watch them in other less legal
Yeah,
ways.
that is also something.
I don't want to like explicitly say it because this is still a podcast that gets publicly uploaded on the internet. But I'm sure people like know. I'm like, if you watch hockey, you've probably had to do this.
Yeah, if you just stumble across slightly less legal ways of watching, it's very difficult to get the Marlies.
Yeah.
But
Okay. What else do I got to chat? Oh, more about the game actually. Sorry. So Benoit and Camp had A's, which means absolutely nothing. I just thought it was a fun thing to point out. My friend and I were like at the glass for warm-ups because what's really cool about seeing like a Sens game, seeing a game in CTC is they actually invite people down. Like if your seat's up in the 300s, they invite you to come down and stand at the glass for warm-ups, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's
that's not always like the right. That's not always the right, but like it doesn't always happen at every arena in the league. But yeah, so that's cool. It was cool. I have a bunch of pictures and a bunch of videos. Like it was really funny. We were sitting there just like giggling away. Like I turned to my friend who's like me, lifelong Leafs fan. She grew up playing hockey, like in the GTA and stuff like that as well. And her and I were just like sitting at the glass. We had our phones up against the glass and we're just sitting there like giggling away, the two of us. It was great. But yeah, no, so Benoit and Camp had ace, which probably I think it was probably just because like they had, I think, the most games played out of everyone on that lineup, I believe. I didn't really look that deeply into it, but I do believe they were the two guys with the most NHL games under their belts. But yeah, what else do I have? Oh, Alex Steeves with the first with a goal off the facepaw. That was such a gimme too, because it was like such a weak little shot. Like
it was so good.
Korpisalo, that goal was on Korpisalo though, because it just like trickled through the 5-hole, like right off the draw. Like it wasn't even that good of a shot either.
It's just the power of Alex Steeves.
Power of Alex Steeves. I like Alex Steeves. I keep waiting for him to get a better shot with the Leafs.
Yeah. I want to see him with the Leafs. One day. It'll happen. But... No, I really I missed that goal because I spilled my drink. I look up and they're celebrating. I was so mad. But no, it was very leafy.
Yeah. Also as well, sorry, I'm trying to. John Gibson had an appendectomy, so that's like the third one. But yeah, so what else do I have? It was, yeah, then Sun scored, and that was whatever. Like, you know what? Like that was whatever. 1-1, doesn't matter. Pontus Holmberg was an absolute goon.
I want to know where he's been hiding this.
I don't like. He's an absolute goon. Okay, so I'm not condoning his hold it. It's not a slew foot.
No.
But his more of his like I'm gonna call it a holding. I'm gonna have Sens fans get really mad at me about that by calling it a holding, but it wasn't a slew foot. Like if you look at the replay, there was never anything in between really Greg's legs. It was not a slew foot. Holmberg literally just grabbed him by the shoulder and yanked him back. And that's what it was like. Because I saw people calling it a slew foot. I was like, it was not a slew foot. It wasn't a slew foot. It still is not, like, you shouldn't do that.
No.
That's not something, that's still bad.
Bad Pontus.
But
no, I was like, I had no words. I was just sat there in silence, like, what is happening? He's insane.
But yeah, so he did that, which he got away with that not being called on Ridley Gregg. Ridley Gregg then had to leave the rest of the game due to like precautionary reasons, he did have a headache. I believe he was at practice today. I should actually double check like if he's even in the Sens lines or not, but I believe he was at practice.
But yeah.
So he's not on the lines tonight, but I'm not too worried about that, considering like maybe he's just getting the day off. I don't know. But they have like the Senators haven't said anything about whether he has a concussion or not. But yeah, and then Pontus Holmberg fought Cole Reinhardt.
What is it? I don't even. I was just baffled.
It was happening right in front of me, and I still couldn't even believe it. It was the fact that I had to sit there and take a picture of it and tweet it out.
You're just like, this is actually happening right now.
I don't know, like, because I don't know how did my tweet beat out like your stream? I didn't know how delayed your stream was. Because I did have to look up how to. I did have to look up how to spell Reinhardt because it's not spelled the same as Sam Reinhardt. There's a D in there, and I had to Google that.
No, I think it was like you tweeted just as my stream had got to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just imagine if I got a spoiler from you and I'm just sat there like, bullshit.
And it's me like, Pontus Holmberg's fighting Cole Reinhardt. It's because I didn't know how to spell his last name. That's why, because I had to go look him up. I had to go look up like Reinhardt. But yeah, so yeah. Sure. And then there's a bad turnover on the power play to allow the Senators' second goal. Like that was just, you don't do that.
No.
I can't, who was it? I remember looking up who it was. I want to say it was Quillen. I don't think it was. I know after the goal happened, Gurbankin was not happy about it because I watched him slam his stick into the boards.
Oh dear.
But I don't think it was him that allowed the turnover. I think TikTok Tomar actually has the clip. It was just a bad. Let's see, does Omer have
the best? But yeah, overall though with the game,
who was it?
Like,
oh, it was.
I'd have been.
Oh, it was Matanen.
Well, I mean, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, but like, oh, you didn't see. Oh, I don't think the footage even showed Gurbankin. Like, the camera didn't show Gurbankin. Yeah, he went to go pass it to Gurbankin. Oh, you actually no. You guys never saw on the broadcast Gurbankin literally take his stick two-handed like this and just go right into the boards.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, I did not see that. Damn.
Yeah. No, you guys, but he was pissed. Yeah. It was like, I will say that like the roster was mostly like Marlies and other young guys. I mean, you had Knies there and Benoit and Kampf and McMahon, Robertson, but like it was still like mostly your Toronto Marlies. And I will say like the Marlies looked actually pretty good. So like the Marlies crew, they looked solid. Nick Robertson looked great. He had a couple of really good looks. Same with Bobby McMahon, had a couple of really good chances on net. Like he was in there, like he was doing a lot of net front stuff, which I don't think he really ever did last year, if I remember correctly. Like he had like a couple wraparound attempts, and he had a couple of just trying to like poke little up and close, trying to poke like the goal, poke the puck, Jesus, into the net, things like that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not so much like net front tips, but like he was still being like a bigger presence in front of the net. Yeah, Knies looked good. Big guy still, like. And the thing that's always stood out to me about Knies, and I was sitting there sitting next to my friend, and we were talking about this, is because I had pointed out, I was like, he's a very smooth skater, which is very unlike a lot of like bigger players in the NHL. If you watch a lot of bigger players, just like taller and bigger and mass skate, they aren't very smooth skaters. Like, look at the difference between Matthew Knies skating. I know Matthew Knies is not Owen Power height, but Matthew Knies is still very tall and very large. Watch the difference between Matthew Knies skate and like Owen Power, or like I think even closer in like size comparison would be like watching like Matthew Knies and like Justin Hall skate. Because Justin Hall and Owen Power skate very similarly, which is like, I like to describe it as like a baby moose learning how to walk. Am I wrong?
No.
But like you can see the difference in their skating, and Matthew Knies is a very smooth skater. He's a very pretty skater to watch. He's a nice stride. Don't. Oh, he was standing right in front of me, and like I was there with my friend, who like I'll tell this story because I don't think she'll ever listen to this episode of the podcast, so I'll tell her and she won't get embarrassed by it. But literally, we were standing there. It was like we were 8 years old again. I kid you not. We were like children, like giggling in the glass, right? But like Matthew Knies came in front of us and like stopped right in front of us just to like stand there and just like sort of looking at us, whatever. Or like look, whatever. Or he's like, because he's standing next to like Gurbankin or something. So maybe they were chatting or something. But like he's standing like 2 feet away from us. I mean, there's a plexiglass between us, but he is standing like 2 feet away from us. And my friend, who is fully like lesbian, has a girlfriend, and she's standing there with her phone, like taking pictures and stuff, giggling. I kid you not. Like he'd look over in our direction, and she'd like duck her away.
Stop. Oh.
Oh.
Matthew Knies. It's been a long day. Matthew Knies, loved by lesbians across the globe.
Matthew Knies, loved by lesbians. Put that on a t-shirt. Lesbians love Matthew Knies.
But on his CV, okay, what are your biggest achievements? Lesbians love me.
If Ariel or Avery are listening to this episode, there's some merch ideas for you guys. I know we talked about getting some from the Fourth Line merch going. There's another one. Or you can use lesbians love. I want to make that the episode of the pod, like this. I want to make this the episode title so bad. I don't know if I'm allowed. Can I do that?
Yeah, because it's just you know a lesbian who loves Matthew Knies, therefore lesbians love Matthew Knies.
Okay, I've written it down so I don't forget, because I probably will forget. Oh, he's gonna search his name and actually, you know what? I don't think I think that's not, like, if he saw that, I wouldn't be like, it's not like a bad
and as well, that's like very bold of you assuming that he can spell the word lesbians or his own name.
Well, I think he can spell his own name. I don't know about the word lesbian. Oh my god.
Sorry, Matthew.
Oh my god. It's fine.
We bully him, but only out of love.
Yeah, no, but because I will say, and I say that, I think I say this like every time I go and I'm down by the glass for warm-ups and stuff. It's like, you don't realize how big these guys are until you're like 2 feet away from them, and
you're just like,
and you're like,
whoa,
holy crap. And I know they're on skates, so they're taller than they usually are, and I know they've got pads on and stuff, but like still, they're all like big guys. Right? But yeah, no. What else I want to talk about? Easton Cowan's been having a rough camp. I mean, he has a shot tonight to play on the top line with Marner and Domi. So we'll see how that goes for him. I mean, it just like I was watching him mostly on like special teams because I just would. Like I was paying because that's kind of what his bread and butter was with in London with the Knights. And I know people are gonna be like, well, OHL hockey isn't the same as NHL hockey. I know, but like you still like there is some skill carryover there, right? And his bread and butter was special teams when he was there, and he was able to farm a lot of points on the power play and even on the penalty kill as well. But he just like it was like the passes weren't smooth, it wasn't clicking, he just looked awkward, and it was weird because he looked really great in camp last year. Right? So I don't know what it is. I don't know. I still don't know if he's going to go back to London or if they're going to keep him in for the Marlies. Because I know people are a little bit divided on his development, on if whether they're going to have like gonna because some people are like send him back to London, give him another chance at the Men Cup. And I know other people are like, no, like he has outgrown what he can accomplish in the OHL.
Yeah. I feel like
it's only going to develop more bad habits there. Keep him with the Marlies. You're going to burn a year on his ELC. That doesn't really matter because he's going to want to stay in Toronto, and that way you can develop him into habit like playing like pro hockey.
And as well, like I feel like he's at a weird stage where he could go back to London, but he's outgrown
London.
Yeah,
like look the way that he's put up points in the last season. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, like he was only really finding like 2 years ago, people didn't even really have him going in the top round, and he gets drafted in the top round by Toronto unexpectedly and has an insane, crazy, record-breaking season in London. And people are gonna be like, okay, well, I'm like, but like there's proof that he can excel in junior hockey, but what you want him to do is excel at the NHL level. And I think
push him. You don't want to.
Yeah. And I think also as well, like even Berube like spoke on this as well, is like you want to get like the junior hockey habits out of him and put in some NHL habits and work on like work on like being more detail orientated in your play and not making as many mistakes. And you do that less so at the OHL and more so like in the AHL with the Marlies. It will be a shame if he is in the Marlies that we don't get to watch him in Vinton, the two of them on a line, but we'll see how it all sorts itself out.
It's because you could if he goes back, he'd have another great year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like there's no doubt about it.
Like he would have a great year. Like you almost don't want him to have another great year because you want him to be at a level where he's pushing himself.
Yeah.
Rather than where he's like up there.
Yeah, and knowing how strong his work ethic is, Jesus. You know that like he will still push himself, but like the environment it will be very self-motivated, and he will still push himself and he will still strive to improve, but the environment that he'd be in like with London wouldn't necessarily contribute to that. If that makes sense. But yeah. Also what I wanted to talk about as well is like Benoit loves Craig Berube hockey.
Yeah.
He like, and I know he said it himself, being like I like that sort of north-south physical style of hockey is very much built for is very much built like for Craig Berube's coaching style. And for how like Simon Benoit plays that way. But like watching him in action in a game scenario against a team like the Ottawa Senators, I was afraid that him and Tkachuk were gonna rip each other's heads off by the end of the game.
Literally.
It was the first period and they were already going at each other, and me and my friend are sitting there and it's like their first like time like they're really like, you know, scrapping, going after each other. And me and my friend are sitting there and we're like, let them go. I know it's the preseason. Let them go at it, especially because they both got roughing penalties anyway. Like if you're going to give them that penalty and like not going to give anyone a power play, let them go. Like, give them the 5 minutes for fighting anyways.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. But yeah, no, I even texted you that as well.
You did. It's I was sat and I was just like watching. I was like, oh, are they gonna have a little fight? Are they gonna have a little scrap? And I was like,
and they did. But yeah, no, just like, because right now he's been more slated to be like a 7th defenseman. I don't know why.
No.
Like, use him.
Yeah. Like, you have
use
it.
Him, like him and Jake McCabe. Because Benwell was mostly paired with Connor Timmins, and it was fine, but it was like you had like they were very much the two opposite ends of the defensive spectrum. You had essentially a forward who can skate backwards in Connor Timmins, and then you had, which I guess works, like it works. You saw that, like, and I'm gonna pull one so far deep out of the archives of like it was like Mark Matheau and Eric Carlson in like 2016 for the Ottawa Senators.
I'm just gonna know.
Marcie's giving me a look of, you need to finish that Ottawa Senators retrospective piece immediately before you keep pulling these sort of comparisons out all season.
Yeah, honestly, you have to give me warning, and that is by finishing your work.
I know, I've been working on it, okay? There's just a lot of things that happened to the Ottawa Senators between 2017 and 2024, okay? It was a busy 7 years for them. But yes, okay, you do. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if those guys just like haven't really played there. It just wasn't, it didn't work. And maybe it's just because I'm so used to watching like the like the Jake McCabe Benoit pairing. But which is so good and I miss it. Come back. But we like, I'm trying to hold on, the Leafs. Leafs PR. Sorry, I'm just pulling up who's playing tonight because that can lead us into our next conversation of Leafs in Montreal tonight at 7. So that's why we're trying to rush through this episode so we can get it done.
35 minutes.
But yeah, like we said, Cowan moved up to the first line with projected to play with Marner and Domi. It's more of a solidified NHL group in this roster.
Yeah.
But as well, no Austin Matthews due to upper body, but I'm not too worried. He took optional morning skate today. Skating. So it maybe it's just him sitting out a preseason game, which it's the preseason, no biggie.
It's not the end of the world. Like, boo-hoo, he misses a preseason game. Worst that happens.
The preseason isn't real. Like, the stats don't matter.
Exactly.
But yeah, so some highlights from this. We're gonna see our first look at Steven Lorentz, which I'm excited about. He's probably gonna be on the fourth line with Camp and Reeves. We gotta see another look at Max Pacioretty, Bobby McMahon, Nick Robertson, John Tavares is in the lineup. Pontus Holmberg again. I keep my eye on him. I don't know. It's just like Robert. There was like a couple of guys who I saw like you could see made a step, and then Pontus Holmberg just didn't. I don't know what it was. And then defense, we'll probably see Ekman Larson and McCabe together again because we'll also see Riley and Tanev, so we'll probably see the pairing of Benoit and Timothy Liljegren. I do, for science, want to see Liljegren and Ekman Larson together. And maybe that's me projecting because I want to see Benoit and McCabe.
It'd be nice to see both pairs.
I just am curious how Ekman Larson and Liljegren would work. I mean, that line would be an absolute mouthful. There's a lot of syllables going on there. But yeah.
But nice.
Also as well, since this week. The Leafs sent back Noah Chadwick to his WHL team, the Lethbridge Hurricanes, which I'm not too surprised about. He was named he was named the captain for Lethbridge like a few weeks ago. So I'm not surprised. It would have been nice to see him in a preseason game. I don't think he ever. Okay, he played one. He played the first one. So, but would have been nice to see a little bit more of him because we didn't really see a lot. But I mean, so far I think he's been really impressive. I mean, he is only he's 19, so he's 1 year left on his eligibility for the dub. And then I think we'll probably see him in Marlies for a couple years because he's such a late pick too, right? Sixth round. Yeah.
Yes.
Six. I think he's 6th round, 6th or 7th round.
I believe so.
6th round, yeah, 185th overall, and he's 19. So it's not like I was I was not expecting him to make the team out of camp. It would have just been nice to see him a little bit longer, but the WHL season has started already, and if he wasn't going to make the team out of camp, why would they just hold him around instead of they could send him back to his WHL team where they could have him play and things like that? And people are like, well, what about Minton made the team out of camp last year, even though he was Kamloops captain for 4 games, and then they traded him to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yes. Also, well, okay. Now that I've mentioned Easton Cowan moving up to the first line with Marner and Domi, that does make it the London Knights line.
It does.
It's a full line of London Knights, and like Austin Matthews would say, the OHL is a cult. That is cultish behavior. There is so many Leafs that played for the London Knights.
My first note for the London Knights line is, I just know they're going to be insufferable on a whole new level, and then underneath, very excited to see what happens.
It is. Oh my god, yeah, because there's quite a few guys who played for the London Knights, on the Leafs, or at least involved, in the Leafs organization. But yeah, interesting. I don't know. I'm just excited to see it. I really do want Cowan to step up in camp. I don't not that I'm thinking he can make but there is an opportunity for him. Yeah. But yeah, and then what else do I got? Oh, okay. Well, to talk about something not Leafs related, Sabres named their captain following the trade of their captain last year, which I'm not even gonna try because I can't say his last name unless I have it spelt out in front of me. I'm gonna actually Google it because I do want to say it, but I just Pozo. There we go. Alec Pozo to the Florida Panthers last year, and also subsequently his retirement from hockey, which we didn't even talk about that. But yes, he has retired from hockey.
Yeah.
Mark Giordano, please take a hint.
Please.
He's still not officially retired. But yeah, Sabres named Rasmus Dahlin captain. Congratulations to Rasmus Dahlin. They've also announced then their alternate captains, which, oh no, everyone who was mad about Morgan Riley getting a rotating A. The Sabres have 4 A's of Alex Tuch, Dylan Cousins, Matthias Samuelsson, and Tage Thompson.
Wait. Oh, you see, the thing is, when I was reading about this, I forgot that they traded Jeff Skinner. And then I had the very horrible reminder.
They didn't trade Jeff Skinner. They bought him out and sent him elsewhere.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Look, it's been a long day. I've been through it. I also kind of did my very best to block all of that out of my memory because it was a very horrible time.
But yeah, no.
I got the
So
lovely reminder that Jeff Skinner is in Edmonton now.
yeah, no, but Rasmus, good for Rasmus. I mean,
Yeah,
first
very
overall. What a many of their first overalls. What 2? Do they just have Jolene and Power now as first overalls there? I think they do. Yeah,
I think so.
I think so as well. But yeah, good for Rasmus Helene. I mean, I saw some people saying they thought it was going to be Alex Tuck, which like I can see how, but like I think it was leading up to Darlene being the captain for a long time.
Yeah, it like you could kind of tell it was.
Yeah.
Coming.
But yeah, no, congrats to Rasmus. Good for him. I don't know, I don't have much else to talk about unless you have something. Oh, I mean, John Gibson had an appendectomy, and will miss the next 3 to 6 weeks. So that is the third person related to like in the NHL who has their appendix removed this preseason. The first was Caden Gooley. The second was Peter DeBoer, the head coach of the Dallas Stars. And now John Gibson.
That's crazy.
Are we gonna have to have like
this? This is this year.
Okay, this is our what? This is our 4th episode of this. What? Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 4.
4. No. This is our. Yeah. This is sorry. Never mind. I miscounted. This is our 4th episode of the season, and we've had 3 appendectomies.
Are we gonna have to start a count like we did with the coaches fired last year?
Is appendectomies the new fired head coaches?
Oh, I do have one thing to say.
Do wish John Gibson a speedy recovery, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know about getting
I still have
an
my
appendectomy. So do I. I do not still have my wisdom teeth, but I still do have.
Oh my god, I'm getting my wisdom teeth through, which I didn't realize. Yeah, I went to the dentist a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Yeah, your wisdom teeth they're coming," which is a joyful experience. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, I do have one thing to say. This is episode 69.
I noticed that when I was writing out my notes, and I didn't want to mention it because I was like, we are a professional podcast. We now are associated with a professional news.
I never said anything. I'm just celebrating the fact that we've got 69 whole episodes. And I think the only appropriate way to celebrate is nice. Happy 69th episode. I think we should get a cake. But yeah, that was the first thing I put down in my notes.
Jesus.
I have waited almost a year for this, Emma. Let me have it. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, obviously you did, but like, Sabrina Carpenter's Bedazzled Leafs jersey, I want that so bad. I cannot put the time nor the energy to bedazzle a Leafs
Mm.
jersey because I do not have the patience to work with rhinestones for that long.
No.
But I saw that and I was like, oh my god.
I would do for a bedazzled Joseph Wall jersey. Criminal. I would
You know
commit
what I
crimes.
do really want to still see? Oh, so I mean, speaking of like the number 24, because that's the number that was on, I do really want to see like at least one look at Connor Dewar in um in a preseason game.
Yeah. I just want to see him. We miss him.
Yeah.
Daily. But no, when I saw the first pictures of Sabrina Carpenter last night, I was like, oh, she didn't.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, incredible.
My favorite thing is like every time like a singer like will wear like a jersey or something during their encore, and then like people will be like, I can't believe she would like the traitor, I can't believe she would like do that. Guys, they get them like if they're playing at an arena, like a hockey arena, a lot of times the arena will just give them the jersey as a gift. Like, why do you think Noah Khan played at so many hockey arenas? I admired his game so hard when I looked at like the list of his tour stops and like what venues they were at, and I was like, oh, he's getting so many hockey jerseys. I admire that.
No, because when we do,
if I was
when we do I was going on offline world tour,
our live show we go and do like a live show tour. Are you?
Could you imagine? That? Everyone just would want that.
Well, the thing is as well is like I would like if I was a singer and I had like an arena tour where I was touring like arenas, I would purposely pick hockeys. I don't care. Like my tour manager would be like, you don't have a large fan base. Like you would have to pick between you. They would be like, you don't have a large fan base in Buffalo, New York. I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting the Sabres jersey. we are playing. What is that arena called now? It's changed its name recently. We are playing. This doesn't work as cool as it used to. We are playing Quebec. We are playing the Quebec Center.
Like, I don't care that only 3 people in Buffalo listen to my music. Those 3 people are going to turn up and we're going to have a blast in our hockey jerseys.
Like, I would.
Yeah, yeah, I deeply respect everyone's plans to just be like, yeah, we want to play here for no reason whatsoever. Definitely not so we can get a free hockey jersey. No.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So did I don't know if I discussed this on the I feel like I did discuss this on the podcast where it was about Sorokin, about his back injury. Have we discussed Sorokin's back injury on the podcast?
No.
Did I not talk about Patrick Roy being asked about him at a golf at a golf event, like a charity golf event, and him saying anyways, so Patrick Roy said that Sorokin will be missing time due to recovery from back injury, and he had surgery and stuff like that. Anyways, today it was said that Patrick Roy was asked whether he had any idea whether Ilya Sorokin will be able to play in the preseason. And Patrick Roy said, it's a very good question, but no.
Youch.
Oh, not good for the Islanders. They already don't have a lot going for them.
No. But yeah, that's not fun. I've just discovered a massive bruise on my leg, and I don't know where it came from.
That's like a daily occurrence for me.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, surprisingly.
I'm trying to think of like if we have anything else, if I have anything else to say, and I can't think. I can't.
No, I don't think I do.
No, I do not either. It's like I will say, like, it's not that it's slow for news. It's just we're not getting any like real, not real hockey, but it is like I think in the preseason, it's a
It's
little bit different than following through the NHL season because you have like split squad games. I mean, like earlier this week, Calgary and Edmonton were playing split squad games against each other on the same night in two different cities. How am I supposed to talk if you're like covering the team? How are you supposed to cover those two games? Because you cannot be in two places at once. And so like
yeah.
are you like and they're at the same time, so you can't like watch the game, like be in the arena watching the game and like have the other game in front of you. Like, but I will say like the Sabres have already left for Munich for like the Euro tour where they will be playing. Find out what team this is. Hold on. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. The NHL app is just being oh god, that's bright. The NHL app is just being
You just blinded
yeah,
me.
I'm so sorry. The
You should
NHL
be.
app is where they are playing ECH Red Bull Munich, like they're playing against the team in Munich, and then they are also playing a game. Where they're also playing a game against. I guess it's just is it just the one game?
Um,
I believe so.
yeah.
I think it's just the one game. Why would they do this?
Funsies.
Why do they
Vibes.
why do they hate me this way?
I don't know.
Why would they only play one game in Munich? And okay, anyways, doesn't matter. They are playing the Red Bull hockey team in Munich. But yeah. So it's like stuff like that where it's like how like anyways, preseason, it doesn't matter. Everyone and their mother is getting hurt.
The preseason is not real.
No, like literally the preseason is not real. I say that as someone who had like people, but I will say, do not get mad at people who like don't like make fun of people who pay to go see hockey like preseason games because sometimes it is like the only games they can afford, and also hockey is still hockey.
If I had the opportunity to go to a Leaf preseason game, I'm packing my bags and heading over now. Like I will drop everything to go. Like I don't care if it's preseason or like
Yeah.
playoffs. Like, bro, hockey's hockey. The Leafs are the Leafs. I will be there.
Yeah. I will say I'm not oh, I didn't mean to laugh at that, but like I'm sorry, I'm getting like offside work chat notifications. But yeah, as we're recording all the time. So I'm constantly checking them, but I guess just got one in. Fantilli shaking off rust. This is via Brian Hedger, who is a beat reporter for the Blue Jackets. Fantilli shaking off rust after missing most of his rookie season. Second half, sustained another cut to the same leg Monday in Buffalo, but nothing like last year.
Oh dear.
Adam. Maybe it's time to invest in those cut-resistant socks.
Yeah. Because do you really want a repeat? I don't think so. Dear me.
At least it's not as bad, but like, dude,
It's
how?
not
It's the same
ideal.
leg too.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's okay.
Yeah. Because like it could have been a lot worse. But dear. Dear me. Well, yeah. I'm excited for tonight's game.
Yeah, so am I. Against Montreal. I don't know what roster Montreal is putting out. I'm actually gonna look at that right now.
That's a shout.
I'll do that. And then we'll end the podcast there. Because
the game's about to start.
Oh wow, thanks for that, Montreal Twitters. They posted a video and it was like them in like Scotiabank, and then it was like them holding up a picture from the North Division playoffs.
Wow. Thanks a lot.
Where is the list of people that are playing Montreal? Where is that roster? No, I don't want to go behind the scenes with Nick Suzuki. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna go Montreal. 19. Do they have a PR account?
Surely they do.
No, they don't.
Oh.
Doug, where's your roster?
Surprise, it's just me. But, yeah. Who knows?
Okay, well, I don't know who's playing then. I think one of them is Mike Pizzetta because I did see him in like one of the videos that they posted. I don't know anybody else who's playing tonight for the Habs. So, yeah, with that being said, we'll end the episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching, for not watching, Jesus. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday after I'm a little bit less all over the place and scatterbrained to discuss some more preseason as we lead into the regular season. It is like 2 weeks away.
It is.
It's
so
kind of quick. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for regular season hockey to start. But yeah, so be sure to, oh no, I've totally blanked on my outro. We'll be back on Monday for another episode. You can find Offside News at Offside News Co. on every social media platform. You can also find them at offsidenewsco.com on the internet to read more fabulous articles from them. You can also find the podcast on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4th. You can also listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and you can follow Marcie and I on Twitter if you really miss us that much between episodes, at 6 Delays for Marcie, at Pair B1 for myself. I did it. Thank you. We'll be back on Monday with another episode. That's all for now. Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.
Bye.
Go Leafs, go.
Yeah, we can say that. It's so nice after not being able to say it for like the back half of last season.
Wonderful.
Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.
Bye, Jack.